Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I'm flying at the Murphy's Law, but we have the jewel of them all, Jim Leeker, president of the St. Louis High School, St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. Oh man!
I didn't know I didn't know I was the president of the High School Soccer Hall of Fame.
Palumpum, there you go. I mean, hey, we'll put a title on you. But just so that I remember, you're Wales Certified Hall of Affinity, Jim Leeker. Yeah, I got a special plaque for you that's coming.
Yeah, I saw those. You sent me a copy of one.
Yeah. Well, Jim, thank you for, I stumble with the lights on. And so here I am. We left off where we gave the inductees, but the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame is unique where it gives out other awards. It's the players, it's the coaches, it's the outside. It takes a whole group of people to put on a soccer game.
Yeah. I tell you what, Kevin, it was really neat when. I guess when they first started the Hall of Fame, that they knew they were going to be honoring inductees, but then they also thought about who else should be honored that maybe isn't Hall of Fame. I can't say quality people, but they're really not soccer people. Yeah, gosh darn it! What am I rattling on for? It's not necessarily.
Player.
An award to somebody that has given something back to soccer. Maybe he or she is soccer related, but let's give something else out. And they started with the Monsignor Jimmy Johnston Award, which is like the culmination of the award to an individual. Then they went to the Dunn family, said that they would like to honor a high school coach. And then there was the Bob Burns Award that was giving out. I think 1 or 2 years there was a Denton McSkimming Award that was given out. And then we started with the Bobby Kehoe Future Stars and the Monsignor Meyer Team Awards. And then to piggyback on all of this, Ty and Lori Kalupny asked to use our venue or our platform to honor the professional soccer male athlete and female athlete. And when we started figuring out what was going to happen at our banquet this year, we thought, we can't have all of these awards out. So we told Ty and Lori that we won't be able to do your award this year. We'll do it every other year. And they were able to accomplish something. They actually moved their award last year, or I should say this year, to the Missouri Athletic Club that was part of the night of the Herman MAC male and female recipients of their award. And so, Ty and Lori gave theirs awards out, a few weeks ago at the MAC.
Nice.
So, and we knew because of the confines of the banquet facility that we would not be able to hold all of these awards because nobody of the community would be able to attend. And like I said in the first segment, we're at five tables shy of a sellout, which is almost 800 people. And there are still people that are probably figuring, do I want to go or can I go? And is there going to be room and this and that? And, probably within the next couple of weeks, we'll have to make the announcement that it's a sellout. And then we'll take people's names and give them a call if something comes up. But these extra awards are really symptomatic of people's contributions to the game of soccer.
Yeah.
And, the Monsignor Jimmy Johnston Award, who better to receive it than Dick Westbrook?
Wow.
Dick Westbrook has been a mainstay in St. Louis soccer history. His induction into the Hall of Fame years ago, but his contributions to the high school game at Visitation Academy, and he still helps his son with coaching. And he's a nonstop individual.
T for true.
No better recipient of the Monsignor Jimmy Johnston Award than Dick Westbrook this year. Just a peach of a gentleman.
Oh, Sterling.
Yeah. The Jimmy Dunn High School Coach of the Year was actually started by Ebby Dunn, who is the long-term coach at St. Louis U High. But he did it in honor of his father, Jimmy Dunn, the great soccer player from the Ben Miller's teams.
Wow.
And the one criteria that the Dunn family asks is that no one coach can win it more than one time. So we spread it around. It could have been Mike Villa for every year. It could have been for every year. It could have been, but they said we want this to go to people who have given their heart and soul to the high school game.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily need to be a winning team.
Yeah.
But this year's recipient, it just so happens, there's not too many people that can win back-to-back state champions.
Not many.
And so this year's recipient is Bob O'Connell.
All right.
From St. Louis U High. Bob has done a great job winning the Champions League. I believe they won the Champions League also this year.
Yes.
So this year is going to be Bob O'Connell from St. Louis U. And then probably about 15, let's see, about 12 or 13 years ago, we started this Future Star, and we were able to change its name to the Bobby Kehoe. When Bobby passed away, we wanted to give something that would lend his name to the program. And so the two recipients of the Bobby Kehoe Future Stars from Fort Zumwalt East is Jacob Phillips.
All right.
And then from the ladies, from St. Joseph's Academy is Maggie Drozda.
Nice.
And oddly enough, I know both of their fathers. I did not know that Jacob Phillips is the son of Derek Phillips, who grew up in the Oakville area.
Oh.
And was a standout player in his own right. Now he's coaching up in the where is he? Oh, he's someplace up north. But Derek Phillips, and when I wanted to make the announcement, the coach, the athletic director says, well, I'll give his father a call and see if he can make it. And he says, I actually played soccer for him. And I said, his name isn't Derek, is it? And he says, yeah. And I said, oh my goodness. He grew up in the Oakville area, went to school in Oakville with some of my kids, so that was kind of an oddity.
Yeah.
And then Maggie Drozda, I have a relationship with her father also, because her father Chip and his twin brother Greg played soccer for me on my Crudas team for a number of years.
Nice.
And you know what about these two people? They're not only great soccer players, both of them on their teams, golf team. And they've gone to the state. Both and Maggie Drozda, I understand that she went out before the snow hit. It was just kind of hitting the ball around, and she scored a hole in one,
Woo!
and just just practicing. I mean, these kids are talented.
Yes.
And the future stars, like I said, some of them will go on to possibly play soccer, in a professional manner. We've had people go over to Europe to play. We've had females go over to play in Europe. Angel Akita went over to Europe, and now she spends some of her time in Australia.
Yeah.
Playing soccer. I mean, these kids are unbelievable. Robbie Christo, who was a standout at St. Louis U,
Yes.
went over to Europe. And now he's back in the St. Louis area, and he's playing indoor for the Ambush. Just a great guy.
Great.
But the ones that don't go on to play, they're all very successful people in their own right.
Yeah.
People who are pharmacists, people who are teachers, just unbelievable, family members, giving back to the community. I mean, it's just, it brings a tear to my eye when I talk about these future stars.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, we call them future stars. They're future ladies and women, or ladies and men who are going to be contributing to, the St. Louis, background.
Sure.
They're going to be successful people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But,
And
and
here it is. Here it is, Jim. All future stars are now Wales certified.
There you go.
All the past, future, present, and future.
Yeah, and I mentioned about Ty and Lori not being able to do it at our banquet this year.
Yeah.
We're not going, because of the confines, we're not going to be able to do the Monsignor Meyer Team Award. And that's something that we try and do to a special team. I've had requests. Well, I'd like to have my junior cup team that won 30 years ago. Be a part of this.
Yeah.
And then I've had requests for Phil Valley teams.
Oh yeah.
And it has to be something really, really special for this team award.
Yeah.
Because if we do the team award, we'll probably have to do away or postpone the coach of the year and the future stars.
Yikes.
If we stay at Union at River City, we may not have room for all the other people who would like to attend.
Right.
But we'll deal with that at the end of this year's banquet. We have a couple of dates at Union Station that we may move back there, but if things work out at River City, we might stay there another year or two.
Yeah.
And then maybe when it's time for me to step down, which I'm not planning on it. But there'll be a day that I'm going to say, hey, we need some younger blood.
Absolutely.
That'll be taking over the reins. Since this started 56 years ago, there was Dinty Moore, who was the first president, Mickey Connors, who was the second president, Goose Gilliam, who was the third, Dick Meisman, who was the fourth, and I was the fifth.
Nice.
So, and Mr. Meisman was so great, but he was only able to take it over for a few years. I think he was actually hoping that Goose would be able to come back and be well enough to take over the reins again, but that never did happen. So to be blessed with four people before me, to lead this great organization. I really am blessed.
Yes, you are.
And then the greatest compliment I had was from Terry Mickler.
How's that?
And he just kind of in passing says, "Thanks for carrying on the tradition."
Wow.
And that's all it is.
Yes, it is.
You have to keep the names of the five gentlemen who were on the World Cup team, the great St. Louis U teams that started the great run of college soccer.
Yeah.
College soccer would not be what it is today if it wouldn't have been for the early years of St. Louis University, and I'll include Michigan State and Quincy. All of these players, all these colleges used St. Louis players.
Yeah.
And I'll even include Indiana. Jerry Yeagley said that he would come to St. Louis to get his defenders because he knew that they were big, strong, and they knew how to control the backfield and stop people from scoring goals. And he would go to the East Coast to try and find scorers.
Yeah.
But it's just it's my second child right now. I should say my 21st grandchild. Put it that way. How about that?
Oh,
the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame is my, and I want to be around, and I hope it will be next year. We're gonna be inducting the 1,000th person into the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it's either going to be next year or the year after. I'd have to take a look at the numbers once again. But I think we're at 992.
Wow, man.
People who have been inducted. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Can you squeeze me in? Can you squeeze me in?
I can't tell even I was reading this morning how and I don't know if this is true or if this is artificial intelligence that's putting all this stuff out. Bill Belichick, who was in his first year of induction into the National Football Hall of Fame, he did not make the final cut.
Yeah.
How could a guy with 9, Super Bowls not get in his first year of induction? But that's what these crazy Hall of Fame rules. I can't say rules. The structure that they've been given. Every year, when we go through our list of people, every year it's like, gee whiz, how could this person not get in on the first ballot? And how could this person not get in on the second ballot? How could he? And because of other people and credentials, we have 20 plus people who are voting, and you need at least 51% to say, I think this is the first time inductee.
Yeah.
And so, some people make it their first year, some people don't. Torrey Holt, the great tight end for the Rams all these years, all the years when he was in St. Louis. He is not in the Hall of Fame.
No.
There's but that's what Hall of Fames are all about. You're going to have the good ones, and you're going to have the people that say he should be in. It's a no-brainer. Why are you even putting him on a list of potential people to go in?
Yeah.
We don't even have. Our potential is. We have resumes from a number of individuals, and they're in date order. And if we have, like this year, we have 11 people being inducted. There's 11 that are going to be added to our ballot for next year. So, we might have somebody on the ballot or on the waiting list for 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but like I said, it's the greatest tribute that I had was from Terry when he said, "Hey, thanks for carrying on the tradition of the 50 World Cup team, the St. Louis University, the great Kudus teams that ran the amateur cup, the amateur levels for so many years.
Yes.
That made St. Louis, the first soccer Hall of Fame capital of the United States.
There you go.
And you could, just like Dave Lang's book says, you could argue all you want, but there's no better city than St. Louis to bring talent, to the soccer community.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. And those simple ways of truth, that Terry said to you, and he's a simple, he loves simple, and it's beautiful. It meant something to you because because of the simple majesty of it all, and that's what you brought to the table, man.
Yeah.
So
but once again, thanks so much for giving me a platform to tell people how much I love St. Louis and love St. Louis soccer. And I wish the best not only for the St. Louis Ambush as they continue their quest to keep the indoor game going, but to the St. Louis City group who've gone through so much, it's really a compliment to them to try and figure this out. I mean, the first year was great, and then the second and third year was like, oh no, what's happening? And then to bring in new blood, and the fellow that everybody fell in love with was Klaus, and now he's no longer with the team.
Yeah.
It's just it's you have to find the right balance of everything.
Yeah. When I said I used to read your newspaper clippings when you were the rookie of is that you have always been very kind to me, and your friendship to me is outstanding. And I can take it to say anybody who has a podcast, if they're okay, they pass the smell test, you are open to talk about the game inside, outside. And that's beautiful, baby. That's beautiful that you're able to do that.
Yeah, and I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And I thank you for having the platform, for us to, when COVID hit, everybody's talking about, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Some people have radio. Tom Schwartz, great friend now.
Yeah.
I can still remember the first time that I met Tom. It was in the I'm trying to remember what year it was, but he had put together a afternoon at the soccer park doing a interview with Frank Borghi.
Wow.
During a World Cup event that was put on by Reuters.
Oh my God!
I mean, this was, it was during World Cup competition, and it was the first. It might have been '94. Might have been '94.
Wow.
When the United States was hosting.
Wow.
And that was the first time I met him, and then he fell in love with the game.
Yeah. Man, I thought Tom Schwartz was a overnight sensation. He's been around a while.
Yeah, Tom has been involved with doing radio stations, and now he does every once in a while he get on and do a podcast. But he's just a dream of a gentleman who started this just like you did.
Yeah.
I wanted to see what I could do for the soccer community.
Yeah, you go.
And, not everybody's going to listen to Kevin Whalen. Not everybody's going to listen to Tom Schwartz.
Yeah.
But if anybody happens upon, hey, they want to talk about soccer?
Yep.
The soccer dads.
Yeah.
The soccer dads.
Yeah.
The soccer women.
There you go.
They have their own. They have their own platforms too.
Yep. Yep.
And it just started on a whim.
How about it?
It just started on a whim.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
But I compliment you for what you're doing.
Well, thanks a lot.
Keeping the game alive.
Right. We'll have to end the broadcast, and we'll end it on a good note. You have me talking,
Okay.
I'll ruin it.
How about this? It's probably never been said to you, Kevin Whalen. You are Wales certified.
Oh, baby. Holy cow. It's never been, that's the first one. Wow, man.
Nobody's ever told you that you're Wales certified?
No. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Take it from Jim Leeker.
All right,
Wales
Jim.
certified.
All right,
Okay.
then, Jim. Thank you so very much. Right. You're welcome.
Okay.
Bye-bye,
All right, Kevin.
Jim.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye now.